Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Make Your Mark. I'm your host, Michael Carabio, and I've been looking forward to this call over the past week and a half or 2 weeks now, just because last week we had to reschedule due to a little emergency that took place. But um, with that being said, we've officially hit the 50-day mark until 2025, and this is that time of the year when a lot of people just start slowing down. They're planning holidays, taking time off, and maybe feeling a little burnt out. And so, reality is though that right now in this season, this is where the true winners are built. Um, and the ones who stay consistent and keep sharpening their skills are the ones that create the biggest separation for their personal life and their business. And when I'm talking about separation, it's not solely the competition, it's also separating yourself from the old you. And so today, we're talking about a topic, separation season. I heard this a while back when Rudy sent a podcast over to us a few years ago. I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago by Ed
Yeah.
Milet.
Yep.
But I wanted to bring someone on that strictly embodies that mindset. Someone who doesn't just talk discipline, he lives it. He's probably one of the most disciplined individuals that I know. He's a realtor, top 1% agent, team, runs a big, well-producing team, and I've had the privilege of watching him grow in business, health, and as a leader. So I want to welcome you, my brother Rudy Flores.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, I know that's a long intro, but I want to thank you so much for being here on a rescheduled time. And before we dive in, Rudy, I want to give everyone a little bit of context of who you are, because obviously not everyone knows you, and I would love for
Absolutely.
them to get to know you. Um, that word discipline kind of gets thrown around a lot nowadays,
Hmm.
and I truly think that when I put discipline underneath all the things that you do, it hits a little bit different. So before we talk
Appreciate
about
that.
anything, I want to dive in a little bit with your things that you got going on in your business from the scale, the numbers, and the growth. So let's
Yeah,
start with your background. How long have you been in real estate, and what got you into building your business?
for sure, man. And again, thank you again for inviting me on here. It's an honor and pleasure. And like what we were just saying right before this, man, the goal today is to help provide as much value to anyone who watches this and listens to this. So, again, thank you. But yeah, a little bit about myself. I've been in the industry now for just over 7 years. My 7 year anniversary was actually this past August. So I've been in the industry now for a little over 7 years. I have a beautiful wife, 3 kids that I'm super proud of, and just privileged to have in my life, and they're my why. I think that always goes without saying, but I'm always going to say it. Been helping people since 2018. Helped I think well over 500 families since then. I run a team of, I think we're at 22 agents now. That yeah, man. I say I think, man, just because I've never been one to be like, hey, I want to just have like this big team, right? Like we're very intentional about how we grow our team, and it's always about making sure that it's the right fit for everybody, and that the values align and stuff like that. So we're very intentional about how we grow the team. So we have 22 team members right now who we're very honored and proud to have on the team. And yeah, man. I mean, I think some of the things that help separate us as a team, and obviously me as a team lead, right? Because I have to lead from the front, is just our values. Leading with intention, purpose, integrity, and always trying to do the right thing. We're really strong in our faith, and again, just we know that the way that we do one thing is the way that we do all things. So we try to just make sure that we do the best we can, and do the right thing in every facet of our lives.
Yeah. One unique thing that you do very well is it's not solely just business. You lead from a standpoint of like you said, every aspect of your life, and you're building a really good community on top of all that with your team. So that's really cool to see. What
Appreciate that.
are what are you and your team What's the pace look like for to close by the end of 2025?
My own personal production. I should have been a little bit more prepared for that.
All right.
For just for me, my own personal production, I should be finishing at 35 million volume. Transaction wise, believe we're pacing to be around 75 units for the year. My team, I'll have to get back to you on that one because I don't have that here. If you give me a little second here, I can probably pull it up for you real quick. uh,
It's a lot.
it is a lot. It is a lot. And you know what? Ashley, our administrative assistant, she does an amazing job of, keeping track of all this for us too. Oh, here, perfect. So altogether, now this is combining both my numbers and my team's numbers. We're at over 206 units and just under $85 million in volume.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
so we're definitely on track to break the $100 million mark, which is always we were able to break it, or we just missed it last year as a team. But yeah, we're definitely on pace to break it this year, and that's something that we're definitely really excited about. And not to say that we look at this as just like a numbers thing. For us, that's just a reflection of the impact that we're having. Because again, with every opportunity to work with a family or with a client, we know it's an opportunity to make an impact. So that just tells us like we've made an impact on over 200 families so far this year. So that's
Right.
something that we're just definitely very thankful for and excited to continue to build off of.
Yeah, and you've built this business through consistency and discipline, like I said. When you look back at where you originally started compared to
Mhm.
where you are now, what do you think? Well, what made the biggest difference?
Definitely having a lot better of routines for myself,
Yeah.
specifically how I started my days, my mornings. I learned thankfully through my coaches and mentors that I have that the way that you start your day is you setting the tone for everything moving forward, right? And in the past, it might have just been like wake up and go straight into the chaos of the day, right? Getting the kids off to school, responding to emails, phone calls, and things like that, like just right off the gate. And that would lead to, making not the greatest decisions afterwards, not eating the right things, maybe not moving my body the way that I should. And from there, it starts to pile up with, okay, now I'm feeling more stressed, I'm feeling more overwhelmed. Um, and it limits my capacity to what I can do, right? How many people I can help, or the type of husband or father that I'm being to my kids too, because I'm too stressed out. So me learning to better structure my days, being able to wake up earlier and go deposit into my health first thing in the morning, my physical health, and then deposit into my spiritual health, my relationship with God, and deposit into my business in the sense of like, okay, listen or read something that's going to help me become a better leader, or a new system that I can implement into my business that's going to maybe buy back more of my time so I can go do something more productive or go be with my family, whatever the case is. Learning to just be a little bit more selfish with my mornings, in the sense of wake up earlier, dedicate, those 2 to 3 hours to myself, to my personal development, to my health, so I can then give the best version of myself to everybody else that needs me for the rest of the day. I think that was definitely the biggest game changer because it just opened up my capacity. It broadened my shoulders and widened my back to be able to carry heavier loads. So I would definitely say that was like the biggest thing that has helped me in these 8 years that we've been privileged to be here.
Yeah,
7 years,
no,
excuse me.
that's funny that you bring it up because that's exactly what I was gonna kind of pivot into. But so let's talk about
Mhm.
that for a second. I think
Okay,
there's a lot of people in our industry that overlook how much your personal health and the discipline that you build in that can really affect your business performance. Um,
100%.
where did that passion come from? Because obviously you didn't always look like this Rudy that you are now. Like you said, you got some big shoulders, a bigger back. Um, when was that moment for you that a change needed to be made? When did that switch flip for you?
Yeah, I would say it was probably not probably, it was definitely during 2020, during COVID. I think that's when it kind of like showed its ugly face, and the ugly face was me looking in the mirror and looking how swollen I was, and like how unhealthy and I looked and felt. You know what I mean? Because I remember my coach Carla, she would tell me like you could see the stress on your face, you could see it on your body, and it was kind of like that's where I'm just so thankful too about just the environment that I have and the people that I have in our community is that they're very honest with me, and they always have been. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to any type of relationships that you have, whether if it's in business or personal or whatever the case is that there's honesty. If someone's being honest with you, it's because they care. And I have people in my life who are honest with me and were telling me, hey, like you're doing great on the business side because in 2020, man, our business exploded. I went from, doing 20 units the first year of my rookie year, 5.3 mil, to all of a sudden I did 79 transactions for 21 mil the following year. Like my business absolutely exploded and I didn't know how to handle it, but a lot of my habits hadn't changed either. So I was like, okay, like you're seeing success on the business side, but how long do you really think you're going to be able to sustain this level of production or even grow this level of production if you continue going down this path that you're going right now? So in 2020, I think obviously with the pandemic, all the stuff that was going on during that time, a lot of time to reflect, a lot of time to really evaluate, what we were doing, how we were doing things. And it was an awakening for me too. Okay, this is where it kind of starts, and it's not to say like from that point moving forward, like, hey, I just like absolutely started crushing it. No, it's definitely been like an up and down
Right.
process. But every day, every week, month, year, I've learned more and more about myself and how to better take care of my body and my mental and everything like that. Because again, if I can dominate this part of myself, then I can carry this same confidence and energy into everything else that I do on the business side and for everybody else. So I would say, yeah, I was started 2020, but it's grown every year since then, and I've learned that in the same way, challenging myself in those uh, parts of life. Like right now, we're training for this marathon. Going through these hard challenges, putting myself through these physical tasks and stuff like that is also giving me the mental fortitude to be able to withstand what comes with being a business owner and being in the real estate industry, because this is a very high stress, high energy industry that if you're not on your game, if you're not keeping your swords sharp, excuse me.
Hmm. Your
um,
short, short.
yeah, and your swords sharp. You can easily, get lost in the sauce, man, and that's just the reality of it. Like I think if we don't look at ourselves, and I think I heard Ed Milet talk about it, or maybe another podcaster that we listen to too, where if we don't look at ourselves as athletes, almost in this entrepreneur space, as business owners, like maybe we're looking at this wrong, because again, we do need to feel our best and have that confidence, because all that energy feeds out to the people who are looking to trust you to help them with some of the biggest financial moves of their lives. So
Yeah.
if you're not able to put that energy out, put that confidence out to them, like what makes you so sure that that person's going to be like, okay, yeah, I do want you to help me buy or sell a home, but they're looking at you and you don't exude that confidence, you don't exude that energy, so they're like, do I really want that person representing me? Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. No, for
yeah,
sure.
definitely I've seen that. So
We could stay on like we love fitness obviously, and we
yeah.
could stay on this for a while, but one last question in that regards, because you brought up the marathon. You just show up to the gym every morning like clockwork. What parallels do you see between training for something like a marathon or just training for better development in the gym, um,
Hmm.
for your business? Like what are the parallels that you've found besides like the normal things like bringing
Hmm.
energy and stuff like that?
Right. Like we said, right, the way you do one thing is the way you do all things. So
Yeah.
I think the way that we can tie all this together is that, if you only feel like taking care of yourself, if you only take care of yourself whenever you feel like it, then you're never going to really see the results that you want to see. Same thing in
Right.
your business. If you only do the things that are required for you to have a successful business when you feel like it, you're never going to have a successful business. So I see that going hand in hand. Sometimes I don't feel motivated or inspired to get into the gym or to go run some miles or whatever the case is, or go train. But guess what? The reality is that if I don't do those things, eventually my health is going to deteriorate. I'm going to start feeling a certain way. and then I'm going to hit the oh crap button and then try to scramble and try to do all these crazy things to catch up again. And it's just chaos for everybody. Same thing in the business. If I decide that I don't want to prospect today, I don't want to shoot content today, I don't want to make these phone calls or send these messages out today, and maybe it doesn't affect me in that moment. But if I let that just continue to pile up and that inconsistency pile up, I'm going to get to a point where, as we know in the real estate industry, you could potentially go months and for some agents years without closing a deal if they're not careful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I only do those things when I feel like it, then I'm putting myself, my family, my team in danger now because I don't feel like doing something. It doesn't matter if we don't feel like doing it. The reality is that we have to do it, right?
Right.
So I think it's the way I correlate it all is it's not always going to be about feeling motivated, inspired, um, because sometimes I'll find that motivation and inspiration once I'm doing it.
Right.
Maybe I don't feel like picking up the phone that day, but I did. And I just had this amazing conversation with somebody that now I just feel fulfilled. I feel
Start
my
building
purpose driven
momentum.
again.
Yep.
Right. And you start just building this momentum again. And you're just kind of steadily, trying to keep this momentum as opposed to just keeping yourself from just being up and down all the time. And I think that's where the true like growth lies, right? How consistent can we be? You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And your the way you show up, it truly does show. And so with that being said, like what does it look like for you when we bring up the word separation season? Like what does that
Mhm.
look like for you and your team right now to close out the
Yeah.
year?
For us, man, at this time of the year, I think exactly how you said when you opened this call. This is a time of the year that's notorious for a lot of agents or just people in general to maybe start letting their foot off the gas a little bit. We're getting into the holiday season, the comfort season, things like that. Not to say that those are bad things, absolutely not. Like definitely spend time with the family, create memories. That's important. But if you, as a business owner, as a real estate agent, don't see the opportunities that are coming up, I think you're doing yourself and your business a disservice. So what we're doing now is like how you call it separation season, man. Like we've kept pace, we've remained consistent throughout this whole year. And now as the race is coming to a close, the end of the year is coming to a close, other people are maybe slowing down, but now we're starting to cut in through the lines and taking up more market share. Doubling down on our marketing, doubling down on getting on contacts. So that's really where we're trying to separate ourselves, and it's also a good opportunity for us to reevaluate our systems. You know what I mean? Where can we
Yeah.
improve in the business? Where are we maybe lacking in our follow up? Where can we provide a better experience for our clients and things like that? So. Um, I think that's definitely what we're placing an emphasis on right now. We're definitely very much a part of that. I think what you said was like 50 days until 2026.
50
You know,
days. It was 57 last week. And
yeah,
now
yeah.
it's slowly
Yeah, so
coming
it's
down quick.
it's going fast, man. It's
Yeah.
going fast. So to us, we're really looking at it as because really, I mean, we've been able to help clients close in 2 weeks, sometimes less. So it's like, okay, we really want to get as many people into their homes in the next 30 to 40 days as we can.
Yeah.
And again, just to build momentum going into 2026. You know what I mean? I'll be transparent and honest. I didn't finish the year last year the way that I would have wanted to,
Mm.
and it translated into having a slow start in 2025. And I made sure that I placed an emphasis within myself, right? That I had this conversation with myself that I'm like, this is not going to happen again.
Yeah.
So me trying to make sure that I'm being very intentional about every phone call, every message that I send, every piece of content that we put out has been, very crucial, because again, we understand how important it is that what we're doing right now is going to ultimately affect us down the line too. And I want to try to continue just to build on the momentum that we have.
Yeah. And it's so easy to do during the end of the year, but I think nothing brings probably more joy and smiles if you had more escrows in the
Oh
pipeline.
yeah,
Like talk
absolutely.
about a real holiday gift right there. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, let's transition into like some maybe marketing and prospecting
Hmm.
questions. So like obviously right now, uh, a lot of chatter about how the market is on the slower side. I personally think like if you have buyers, I mean this is the best time to get them in before the holidays. But you and your team just continue to still produce regardless of the season. What do you think someone can do in their marketing or prospecting to make sure that they're keeping deals flowing at this time of the year?
Yeah. I know it's gonna sound like a like so simple, right? And just repetitive, but I really don't think that there is like a secret sauce or a pill that someone can take to just blow up their business in a short amount of time. I think that there is an opportunity right now, like we said, to help a lot of people, whether you believe it or not. Um, and I'm referring to like the agents out there, right?
Right.
There are people with needs right now. Yes, the not everybody can purchase, but there is a group of people that are able to purchase. That's something that we've been able to always stay at the top of the industry, thankfully, and be in the top 1%. I say that, humbly and thankfully, because we've been able to adapt to whatever the market is, right? Um, 2020, it didn't really take a lot of skill sets to be able to close deals in 2020 and 2021 because all you had to do was just start waving all kinds of contingencies and stuff like that to get people under contract, and everybody was raising their hands for that time. But
Yeah.
I think these last few years have definitely showcased how important it is for your level of communication, your confidence, and the energy that you convey to people through social media, through your phone calls and stuff like that, how that's going to separate you from everybody else, right? And just figuring out what people's needs are, really taking the time to listen to each client's situation and what it is that they're trying to accomplish, and understanding that they're looking to you to be their problem solver in a sense, right? Hey, I'm coming to you. This is my current situation. What programs are there? What great lenders do you have? Things like that. And it's up to us to kind of put the pieces together, right? Same thing on the selling side. If I'm seeing it too much across the board right now, unfortunately, in our industry, where I think listing agents are telling sellers too much of what the sellers want to hear as opposed to what they need to hear, which is
Mm,
in turn leading for more houses to be on the market for longer periods of time. Um, so I would say, man, I mean, honestly, if someone was looking to generate business right now, I would say you should start hitting your pipeline. You start hitting people that are in your phone books. You're hitting all your people on your social media. And at the end of the day, when it comes to you marketing your business, you have to be shameless about it. Ultimately, like if you don't get escrows, if you don't get deals, you're not going to be able to feed yourself, feed your family, feed the people that are counting on you. So if you're sitting here struggling to pick up the phone or send a message out to somebody, like you really need to get past that. And I'm trying to come up with an expression without cursing on here, but you got to get that effort in your system and just be like, you know what? I don't care if someone, it thinks I'm weird for sending them a message, or I don't care if, someone is like, why are they calling me? At the end of the day, you don't know what that phone call or that message that you're sending to somebody could potentially turn into, whether if it's you helping that person directly, or maybe they're connecting with somebody else that does
yeah.
need help, But again, just being intentional about every phone call and text message and DM that you're sending out. Your next deal is in the people that follow you or are friending you on social media or in your phone book right now. You're just not looking hard enough, or you're not being intentional with the phone calls and outreach that you're doing.
That's good. That's so good. You brought up about sellers real quick. I just want to backtrack a little bit.
Sure.
Uh, Agents are potentially telling them the things that they don't want to hear. And I think when we look at someone like you with the production that you produce at, I think a lot of us can maybe think like, someone like Rudy's a yes sir person for him to be able to get that amount of volume and that amount of business. But
Right.
realistically, it's probably not. You're probably saying no more than yes to be able to set the proper expectations with your clients, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's not like I'm coming in and being the bearer of bad news.
Right.
At the end of the day, I am the professional in the space, right? Like for example, I have clients right now who are in the process of selling their homes here in Arizona because they're wanting to purchase a property in a different state. On one property, they took my advice on how we should list it, how we should market it. We were under contract within the first 10 days, above list price, paying minimal concessions. On the other property, unfortunately, they didn't take my advice. We're like, okay, cool. We'll try it your guys' way and we'll see how it turns out. They spent over a month on the market, had to do a price reduction to the price that I originally recommended. Now we're under contract on both. But when it came down to it, I had to tell them like, hey, this is why this property, like I told you, went under contract as quick as it did, and why this one didn't. It's okay. Like now, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
just so you know, any offer that we get here moving forward is going to get uglier, and that's just
Yeah.
the reality of it, man. Unfortunately, when you're selling your home here in Arizona, and again, speaking specifically here, we are surrounded by new builds everywhere. So if you as a listing agent aren't making your clients aware of who they're in competition with and how they need to market their property, how they need to price their home to get the right attention to bring a qualified buyer, then again, you're doing them a disservice. So um, yeah, you do have to essentially be that person that just says, "Hey, this is why you hired me because I'm the
Yeah,
professional. I know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on in the other states, but I'm a professional and the expert in my field here in Arizona, and this is what it takes to sell homes."
that's good. That's good. Um, your production and just the business that you've built really mirrors the strong personal brand that you've built for yourself. Um, what's been your biggest marketing advantage this year? Has it been like social media? Has it just been the community you've built, or maybe like your sphere of influence, your the good old fashioned relationship building?
I think you probably hit the nail on the head on all of those, to be honest with you. I think we've been very consistent with social media for the past 7+ years. So I think that's always been something that's been consistent, constant. Um, but it also helps keep me top of mind with my sphere of influence and helps me build more relationships with people. Like, we have a big community with like our Do the Work workout group that we have, who, all my friends that are in there as well constantly referring clients to our team and myself. We have a run club now that has also grown tremendously, and the same thing. I've had people refer me clients and family members from there. Also, people who are in those clubs are purchasing and selling with us too. Um, so I definitely say it's a combination of all of it. So we're very much getting a lot of new clients through social media, through referrals, and then just obviously with staying consistent with um, staying top of mind with people through social media and through other forms of contact like text messages, phone calls, and stuff like that, just conversation.
Yeah,
um, we
the
continue to just
same.
help stay top of mind. And it's not always, I mean, obviously but no, a lot of, if you're listening, maybe you don't know how I am or what I do, but um, we're not all realistic. I'm such an open book when it comes to, my journey, my testimony. That's ultimately what has helped me build relationships with people and build that trust with people. And as I continue to do that, I get to meet some pretty amazing individuals. And obviously, I think that when I'm just focusing on trying to live my purpose, God responds and helps takes care of everything else in that time as well.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Dang, bro. If you started running sooner, you probably had more deals in the pipeline too. I'm just kidding.
Darn.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, bad joke, but I wanted to bring that up.
it's all right.
Um, what does so near the end of the year, like what does it look like keeping your team accountable for the prospecting, the marketing look like? And do you guys have like any metrics or standards that you guys have within the team to keep everything flowing the way that it does?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, the first and most important one is leading by example, right? I can never tell anybody to do anyone or to not tell them, but I can't ever advise anyone to do anything that I'm not doing myself or that I have not done myself, right?
Yeah,
So definitely making sure that I'm always leading by example is the most important piece. Um, but as far as metrics and goals, yeah, we have a number that we're all chasing right now to try to hit. Obviously, as a team, like I said, our main one was trying to surpass $100 million in volume for 2025 as a whole. And yeah, just we are able to every other week we have our team meetings where everyone's kind of checking in, letting us know where their escrows are at, how many people they have shopping, things like that. Um, those were those same accountability pieces that I had early on in my real estate career with my coach and my mentor. So with being able to having the privilege to start my own team, I wanted to make sure that I applied the same things that helped me, making sure we had those coaching calls, those meetings to where everyone has to check in and like how we say, right, those opportunities to look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I really doing the things that I said that I'm doing? So yeah, I think and we're all just about that friendly competition too. If you walk into our office, you'll see in our bullpen area that we have, a big old Proverbs 27:17 on there as one person. I'm gonna butcher that verse, and you would think after saying it so many times I would know it word for word, but
Is it as one person sharpens, wait, as one person sharpens another, I don't know. I butcher
you
it
know,
too.
iron sharpens iron, basically. Is what and
Yeah.
I feel terrible for not remembering because there's so many versions of the Bible now. But anyways, um, we're very much in that iron sharpens iron mentality where we're very collaborative, constantly helping one another. So there's just a ton of accountability and just pressure, positive pressure all around us that it keeps everybody just wanting to do more, and just wanting
Yeah.
to produce at a high level because they're seeing other people around them working in a certain way, and they're like, okay, I'm not going to look at them as like, oh, they just got lucky or they haven't made whatever the case is. It's more of like, okay, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And okay, then I need to step my game up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's good. I just thought about something. Maybe this can help any type of person that's in the industry, new agent, seasoned agent. So at the beginning of your day, obviously you take care of business, you go to the gym, take care of your family, dropping off kids to school. But once you get into that office, like what does your schedule look like for you to, um, making sure that all your deals are staying afloat, you're prospecting, like what does that order look like for you? So that way people can realize like the importance of structure, bringing in
Mhm.
new business, making sure all those things are flowing properly. What does that look like for you?
Yeah. So for me, definitely first thing in the morning, once I get into the office, like I'm really big on, working out of my 12-week target book, which is again another way I kind of keep myself accountable. I put whatever my targets are for the day as far as, any specific goals that I need to hit. Maybe I need to speak to a specific client or I need to get a certain thing done. So I take care of that first thing. I'm writing my daily affirmations in there, any revelations that I maybe had that morning, and things that I want to just kind of journal out for myself. And then from there, just kind of go on social media, see if any new interactions or activity from like new followers, any DMs that I might have gotten, start responding to any messages I may have had, but also start sending any at a minimum 10 messages out to new clients. Right. So if I see, you know, so many people just followed me, I'm going to send them a DM, kind of introducing myself, trying to open up those lines of communication with them. So again, that's for me, it's a minimum of 10 every single day. From there, we'll check the pipeline, obviously check to see if there's anything that we need to work on as far as in the deals that we have in escrow, making sure things are moving along, submit any repair requests, things of that nature. And then from there, I have an ISA who works under me. So she's helping me with, helping convert some of our clients who are maybe on credit repairs and things like that. So just making sure she's doing what she needs to do on there, but also me stepping in on certain tasks that I might have in my CRM for a specific follow up or things like that too. And then shoot a piece of content. I'm really big on like doing the talking head videos. I have nothing against home tours. I think they're great. I'm just that's not my thing. But I'll try to shoot a piece of content when I get in here, have it ready to post at some point during the day. And yeah, man. And if you really look at it, you can take care of that side of your business probably within the first 2 to 4 hours of your day if you're
Right.
really intentional about it. Sending those messages out, making the certain follow ups that you need to make, recording the pieces of content, scheduling those pieces of content to be posted, and then go about your day. So yeah, I would say that's about where we're at.
That's good. Yeah, something that I started implementing, and sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's not. It's like just a power hour and just
Hmm.
time blocking in an hour to call. I mean, for us it's a little bit different, but just calling on
Right.
other agents, calling that have deals with us, calling on our agents, calling on prospects, calling on birthdays, all those things. And I mean,
Hmm.
by the time you know it, that hour is already done. But you're right. Like if you're
Yeah,
being intentional with the time block, 2, 3 hours. I mean, you could get a lot of time. You could get a lot of things done. Um,
absolutely.
I really need to schedule my videos back up again because that's something I haven't been doing.
You were killing it, man.
Uh,
It's plug right back in, bro. You
Thank
already
you.
know what you have to do.
I,
So,
I know, I know. What are you focusing on right now in quarter 4 to the end of the year?
for me, man, we just transitioned over to a new CRM as a team.
Hmm.
We left Boomtown and moved to Follow Up Boss, which I think it was. a great move. We're super excited about it just because it's a lot more user friendly,
Right.
and just the automations and things that it has on there for us to be able to use to stay in constant contact with our clients is something that we're really excited about using. By transitioning those systems, I've been following up with a lot of clients who I hadn't followed up with in some time. And from doing that, I was able to generate quite a few pre-qualifications or updated pre-qualifications for some
Nice.
clients. So really just continuing to do that, trying to clean up, any missed follow-ups that we've had, any conversations that, maybe we started talking about buying or selling a home in the past and then getting reconnected with them. I've been kind of kicking myself in the butt, think like, man, I should have been doing this so much sooner. But again, this is where this time of the year kind of gives you that opportunity too, right? Because things may be a little slower, quote unquote slower. Um, but again, intentional. Just okay, go and talk to as many people as you can, have some meaningful conversation. And even like I was just telling my team in our past team meeting, there's some people that I hadn't touched base on for like 2 or 3 years that I'm
Wow.
calling them and just being like, hey, this is Rudy Flores, a realtor. Do you remember me? Like just taking the awkwardness out of it from the very beginning. And they're just like, oh yeah, what's up, Rudy? And then just the conversation takes off. And hey, I know I promised that I was gonna be keeping up with you, and I didn't, man. I'm sorry about that. And I know we were working on helping you get pre-qualified, and we left off here and here and here. Like, did
Taking
you end up
ownership right away.
100%,
Taking
man.
ownership right away. I
100%.
love that.
Have
Yeah.
to. You have to. And I just asked them like, hey, I know we were working towards helping you purchase a home. Did you end up doing that already, or is there something you're working towards still? And they're like, no, I'm still working on it. And dude, it would turn into, all right, let's connect with your lender again and see where we're at. Okay, here's a pre-qualification letter. Now they're out shopping. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. There's just like I said, for anyone trying to jumpstart their business or get busy right now, I'm telling you, go look in your CRM, go look in your social media, go look in your phone books. I promise you that your next deal's in there.
It's crazy because when you talk about it, it sounds so simple, but and it really is. It really
Yeah.
is. It's just us being, like you said, being intentional about what our
Yeah.
goals are and helping our clients achieve those goals.
Yeah. But you
Um,
know what it is, man? I think it's because agents buy in too much into that fear of failure, the fear of being
yeah,
rejected, the fear of like, hey, I'm going to call them or message them. They're going to leave me on red. They're not going to answer me. They're going to make me feel dumb for calling. But you know what? If you don't do it, somebody else is, and then
right.
there goes that potential deal, that potential income you could have brought in for yourself and your family.
Rudy's gonna do it, so make sure you guys
I'm
call
gonna
him.
do it if you guys don't do it. So you guys got to get on it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Um, there's probably someone on here that's feeling a little burnt out this time of the year. What would you say to them to, spark that fire back into them and help them finish the year strong?
Yeah, I'll tell you that I'm in that season with you. I'm in that season with
Yeah.
you. I'm struggling to wake up in the mornings, but I'm finding ways to peel myself out of bed and just make it happen because when I start to think about what's really at stake if I don't show up, if I don't do these things that I'm supposed to do, that is all the motivation or spark that I need to make it happen. And just know that it's not about you feeling inspired or motivated to do it. Like I said earlier, it's really just focusing on trying to show up for yourself as much as you can and focus on showing up every single day as best as you can. And I know it sounds cliche, but better times, better days are ahead as long as you continue to show up for yourself because you will hate yourself more if you don't show up today. So
Amen.
I
Yes,
know
sir.
it's just a season that we're in, but don't buy into it. Don't let yourself make any long-term decisions on a temporary feeling.
That's good. You said you're reading a book called Endure. Is
Hmm.
that the mantra right now? Just endure?
It is,
Yeah,
man.
I
Especially
like
with
that.
training for this marathon. Like everything I have right now, again, humbly, I've asked for. So if I ever get to a point where I start to feel ungrateful or, too stressed or that, hey, man, like this is what I asked for. So be thankful and embrace the pain, endure the discomfort, and work through it. At the end of the day, I will find a solution. It's something I'm always telling myself, like whatever comes in my path, I will find a way, I will find a solution. But this is what I asked for. I would rather deal with this type of level of stress, this type of commitment, than dealing with the complete opposite of it. So absolutely, it's endure, it's continue to stay consistent, understanding that this is a marathon, it's not a race. Like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep pace, and I will make my moves and pass people up when I see those windows of opportunities. And right now, again, there's windows of opportunity to pass people up and pass agents up in our industry, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know you kind of already touched on a lot, but I want to ask this one question because every person that I bring on now, I'm going to start asking them and I want them to
Hmm.
respond the way that they go about their business. But if you had, I kind of want to say like the end of the year, but if you had a week to open up an escrow, what would you do? Walk us like if you had today till next Wednesday to open one escrow, what would you do?
I've
And
been doing it now, man. I've,
yeah,
I've been doing it now. Like I said, is just picking up the phone and being intentional. Like I said, there's no secret.
yeah,
There's nothing in our industry right now that one agent is doing that's separating them from everybody else. It's who is being more consistent, who is being more disciplined, who is making those deposits more each and every day. Because again, no one's doing anything out of this world. Everyone's doing home tours. Everybody's doing, these type of videos. Everyone's doing the same thing. But can you do it more than the other person? And can you do it better than them in a sense of like, can you do it without having to fake it? Like be yourself and do it at a high level. You know what I mean? And even that, sometimes it's not even about the numbers, man. It's about the overall experience, the relationship, the connection that you're building with people. Like that's where the fulfillment is too. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I would tell you, man, yeah, like what I would do in the next 7 days is the same things I've been doing the last couple of weeks. Being super intentional about my phone calls, being super intentional about the conversations that I'm having, and I'm checking my phone book, I'm checking my CRM, I'm checking my social media, and again, making sure that all the other stuff I was doing before too is not stopping. The videos, the marketing, everything like that. That's like a non-negotiable at this point. But
yeah.
um, that's where it's at. You just have to get started. That's it. A lot of people spend too much time just trying to find a way. It's like you know the way already. It's just doing it. You know.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. We're gonna end with rapid fire questions
Okay.
and then we'll be out. But I have a
Cool.
minute. Hold on, let me put a minute on the timer.
Oof, I'm nervous now.
It's gonna be good, bro. Ready?
All right.
1 minute. Three, two, one. Social media platform.
Instagram.
One app or tool you can't live without.
Uh, Instagram.
CRM.
Follow a boss now. Yeah.
If you can only do one marketing activity for the rest of the year, what would it be? Instagram.
Instagram talking head videos.
One thing agents waste time on doing.
Thinking too much.
Text, call, or DM.
Uh, DM.
One daily habit that changed your life.
Taking care of myself in the morning, working out.
What motivates you most right now?
Being the best man that I can be.
Coffee or pre-workout?
Pre-workout.
Favorite book?
um, Oh, I just had it right here. The Big Leap by Gay
Favorite
Hendricks.
podcast?
Real AF or the Bedros Keuilian Show.
If you weren't in real estate, what would you be doing?
I want to be a coach. I want to be a
Done.
coach and mentor, which I am right now, but I want to do it too
That's good, man.
afterwards. Yeah.
That's good. That was the rapid fire. I love that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for jumping on this call. I know
Thank you for having me, man.
like you were saying at the beginning, it's to inspire, to help others kind of get ideas on what they should be doing. And obviously we weren't really talking directly to them on what they should be doing,
Hmm.
but I think the best example is following someone that is producing and that someone that does lead in our industry. And so you definitely set the tone for that. So once again, thank you so much, man. If you have any last words to say.
No, just again, thank you for having me on here, man. And again, for anyone that is listening, either live or that's watching this again once it gets posted, get out of your own way. You know what you need
Yeah.
to do. Just focus on showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel, and just make it happen.
No, that's good, man. You definitely motivated me a little bit too to finish the year out strong. So I appreciate you. We always have good conversations.
Absolutely.
So
Always, man. I
all
appreciate
right.
you, brother.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for next week. We're gonna have Stacy Gross come on here, and I believe we're talking about AI. But stay tuned, and you'll get that email. Okay. Have a good one, guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye now.